You join me today after 99 episodes and 4 seasons with Chelsea, trying to make them stand proud at the bridge. Is this the last episode? Hello, and it's a very warm welcome to episode 99 of Making Chelsea Stand Proud. My name's Mark, and today we have what possibly could be the last game of the series. Premier League match day 38 against Newcastle United at St James's Park, and it could be the last game of the series. If you want me to carry on, it's a case of hitting the old smashing the like button. I say, whatever, but smashing the like button and sticking some comments down below, even if they're one-liners, and please carry on, Mark, please carry on, or whatever. You need to do it, and you need to do it quick, and we'll decide whether we carry on this series. And probably what I'll end up doing is recording beyond this. Obviously, we'll do the end of season review, etc., and I possibly will start recording into the next season. But whether you actually see them or not will really come down to smashing that like button and getting that okay, you want me to carry on, and in which case we'll probably carry on for around about another season there or thereabouts. Because I do want to run a little bit of an experiment. I've got a couple of ideas, one of which is that we start a save that will transpose itself onto FM24, because that apparently is one of the key features that they've already spoken about, is that if you've got a save in FM23, you'll be able to move it on to FM24. Now, the last thing you want to do is a save where you've got pretty much full of regens or whatever. So I'm thinking we start something new, something that's not got a lot of sort of background in it to start off with, and then we'll together move it onto FM24 and just carry it forward. I mean, it won't be the primary series probably in FM24, but it will still be there. So I've got a couple of ideas about that, and how we pick a team. I've got ideas about that as well. So more about that in due course. Hit that subscribe button and all the rest of it, because it links you into what's coming next. And the other way of doing it is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. That will keep you up to date with all that's going on, new series and all the rest of it. So don't forget to do that for me. Likes, subscribe, and hit the notification button. You'll all do very well today. And also tell me that you want me to carry on with this content and similar content in the future on FM24, of course. We'll recap on the Premier League then, going into the last round of games. You will notice, and I don't think this would happen in real life, Manchester United have played Middlesbrough. And I also notice, and I don't know how this is... Oh, yes, I do. Arsenal have got to play Arsenal got to play Liverpool. Because they both played 36 games. So there's an Arsenal-Liverpool game coming along somewhere after this round of games. Normally, everything would be sorted out and watertight before we got this far, of course. But in this sphere, it's not happening, is it? So recap on the thing. To be honest, today's a bit of a dead rubber all the way around, because nobody... I mean, there's been better movement in here, but nobody can be relegated. Nobody can get up into those European places. So it's all a bit wishy-washy, really. But there you go. We are champions on 94 points. Obviously, what we want to do is finish the season on a high of 97 points. That would be very good. Manchester City in second on 81. Liverpool third on 78. They do have a game in hand, which would put them back level with Manchester City. So Manchester City will want to win their final game of the season in order to make sure that the best that Liverpool can do. Liverpool basically have got to win both their games in order to get in front of Manchester City for the end of the season. they do have superior goal difference unless Manchester City can trounce whoever they're playing today. Manchester United have ended up in 4th. They can't drop lower than 4th. They can't climb higher than 4th. So they all finish in 4th. Arsenal are 5th on 62. Then Newcastle and Brentford are 6th and 7th respectively on 59. They can't be caught. They could still catch Arsenal though. So it still could change a little bit there. Arsenal do have a game in hand. And they are the European places. And then come Tottenham, Southampton, Leicester, Middlesbrough, Sheffield United, Everton, Wolves, Fulham, Norwich and Brighton, who can't get relegated now. They are safe. Leeds, Aston Villa and West Ham are playing in the Championship next season. Who's coming up? At the moment, there's games going on in the playoffs. Crystal Palace are coming back up. They have secured the Championship. And they come up alongside Reading, who are automatically promoted. And as it stands at the moment, it'll either be Stoke, Blackburn or Watford coming up with them, based on the fact that those playoffs obviously have worked through West Brom have dropped out of the equation as it currently stands. So that is how it is. Today's games, I think it's worth looking at. If we look at the fixtures and results, here we go. Fixtures, today's round of results, and we'll have a look. There's that Liverpool-Arsenal game, and that is happening. When is that happening? That's happening on Wednesday. That will be the final game of the season. So today's games, there they all are. Manchester City are away to Fulham. As I said, they will be looking to win that game against Fulham in order to make sure they've got as many points as they possibly can. And then Liverpool are at home to Brentford. And who else did we say? I think that was just really the only two, wasn't it? That was of any major concern. So with all that, let's get on with the game. We face Newcastle in this final game of the season. A prior history against Newcastle isn't too bad, to be honest. We've played them 11 times. We've won 9. We've lost 2. One of those was in the Caribou Cup semi-final first leg at St James's Park. And the other game that we lost was at St James's Park, a 3-2 loss on that occasion. Isaac doing the damage, scoring 2 goals. Havertz and Mount scoring for us, got us in front, 2 goals in front, and we threw it away, basically. I think the fact that they got a goal, 2 goals, in fact, just before half-time, equalised at half-time, I think threw us somewhat. We'll hopefully not do the same again. Last 2 trips to St James's Park have both been 2-1 wins. And I think, if my memory serves me right, Magnan still needs a clean sheet in order to win. Let's go and have a look if we can, if I can find it. Squad, that's what I want. Maganan, where are we, Maganan? Where are you? There he is, Mike Maganan. Clean sheets in the Premier League is 20. Yeah, he needs 21 in order to beat Ederson's record. So I'm sure that's what he's going out to do today, is beat that record. We'll see whether he can do it. Let's go and have a look then at the team that will face Newcastle United for this final game, potentially the final game of the series, but certainly the final game of our Premier League season. And this is the final team of the season, and face Newcastle in this Premier League match day 38. Magnan in goal, then Chilwell, Gavardiol, Fofana and James, our defensive line. Dewsbury, Hall and Fernandes in central midfield. Matthias Tel and Raheem Sterling wide players with Mount set between them, and Havertz leading the attack. Carnasecchi, Cucurella, Savic, Rodrigo, Garcia, Fratisi, Barbosa, Koulibaly and Koeman all on the bench. That's the final side of the season. And this is how the two sides face up. We're playing our familiar 4-2-3-1 formation, of course. They are playing with a 4-3-3 effectively, or 4-1-2-2-1, whichever way you look at it. Roberto Mancini is the manager, still at Newcastle United. I say still. I think he was last time we visited Newcastle. Lafont is in goal then. It's Galan, Lukubi, Zabani and Dest are the defensive line. Gomeres is the defensive midfielder. James Maddison and Ricky are the central midfielders, with Sam Maximin and Trinco are the wide players sat behind the man who caused us problems before, Alexander Isaacs, and he's up front. And then on the bench we had Strodowska, Sokek, Madrick, Quintero, Sumo, Edwards, Campbell, Alex Scott of Bristol City fame, now at Bournemouth of course, and Kieran Trippier. Shaking of hands and confirmation of the two teams for you. And we have a highlight from kickoff. Isaac getting us underway in this final game of the season. That was a bit short, and Sterling steps in and takes it. Sterling comes forward. He swung it into the box, but it's defended well. Throw in on that far side. Reece James to Raheem Sterling. Won it, lost it, won it, and he's got it back. Mount, James, Fernandez, Mateus Talbot straight into the arms of Lafont. James again with another throw in. Mount, Gavaldiol. He's been quite good this season. Dewsbury Hall through to Habits, and I think he was offside. Costello with a free kick now. Out to Sam Maximan, who's in acres of space. I'm not sure what was going on there, but Ricky way off target. Maganan with a goal kick to Fofana. Finds Fernandez, Sterling, Mount. And I realised why we had a kick-off from thing, because it's a one match. Oh, Habits, and it's offside again. I was going to say, I realised why we had the highlight from kickoff. It's because we've left it on extended highlights based on the fact it's a one match episode, so it's not too short. Dewsbury Hall, and that was very lax to Sterling there. Maximin comes in, and he's Dest. And, they're causing us all sorts of problems. Oh, it was nearly a bad tackle that, but St Maximin again crosses it in. Dest, but Magnan is there. Sterling, Fernandez holds the ball up. Isaac wins it, but it's one back by Mount. James comes forward, finds Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling makes a Mount, but heads it over the top. Throwing on that far side for Newcastle. Fofana heads it away, but it's back into the danger zone. Ricky closed down very quickly. Dest, and got two players out with him. Trucking go, and he has a go, but it's gone wide. And Isaac, of good save by Magnan. One-handed save down at that near post, and manages to push it round for a corner. Maximin with the corner, swung in. Fofana heads it clear. Back into the danger zone. Bruno. Magnan gets it though. It got a deflection. James with a throw in now. Mount, 40 minutes on the clock. Ooh, Mateus tail wasn't far wide of that post. And Lafont from the ensuing goal kick. As Newcastle come out again. Dest, Dewsbury Hall, Mount, Gavaldiol, Dewsbury Hall, Chilwell to Mateus Tell. Mateus Tell through the Habits, and a goal offside again. And we're into injury time. 1 minute of injury time, and we are in that minute of injury time. Dewsbury Hall, Gavaldiol, Mateus Tell, Gavaldiol, Chilwell, Mateus Tell, crosses it, Habits, but straight into the arms of Lafont. And half-time has arrived. Wow, just not really been decisive enough. We've had plenty of shots, and 50% of them are on target. 6 shots, 3 on target, 0.72, 46% of the possession. They've had more possession than us. We need to pick that back off them. We've just not been clinical enough up to now. And Habits been offside on more than one occasion, which is a bit disconcerting. Might just need to sort of tweak it a little bit going into the second half. Newcastle 7 shots, 1 on target, 0.53, 54% of the possession. Scores to note: Liverpool are winning 2-0 against Brentford, and Manchester City are 0-0 against Fulham, which as it stands means that Liverpool will be 1 point behind Manchester City. And if they were to win that game against Arsenal in the final game of the Premier League season, would it overtake Manchester City for second place? And Matthias Tel gets us underway for this second half. It's back to Fofana. Fofana finds Fernandes. Mason Mount, who that ball hit the back of him and he lost it. And Fofana. Fernandes. We did have a tweak with things at half-time. And Havertz, Dewsbury Hall over the top, looking for Matthias Tel. Matthias Tel puts it away, his 13th goal of the season. And we go 1 up after 52 minutes. Finally finding the breakthrough, and that switcher, Havertz going into the attacking playmaker role, and Matthias Tel going up front has made the difference. Ball swung out wide to Sterling. Sterling to Havertz. Havertz. He's sort of playing the ball around nicely there. James crosses it deep for Mount, but Lafont making the save. Dewsbury Hall now with a free kick. Swung in. Guardiola didn't get to it. Sterling still keeping the ball alive. Crosses it deep for Havertz. Just wide of the post. And with 65 minutes on the clock, making our first 2 changes, Ben Chilwell comes off for our usual change of Mark Cucurella coming on for him, and Mason Mount, who's not had such a good game today, but he's also tiring. We have brought on Rodrigo to replace him on that left side of attack, just to see whether we can make some more inroads. We have a corner now. Reece James with the corner. Swings it in, but it's headed clear. Dewsbury Hall tidies up. And James losing the ball. Fernandes. Dewsbury Hall. It's flicked in, but caught a deflection. Lafont takes it. Highlight appears to continue. Fofana brings that down very nicely. Dewsbury Hall, but Dewsbury Hall's a bit lax, and St Maximin is in. He's crossed it in. Oh, it's gone over the top, but it's a corner. I think Magnan saved that, trying to keep his clean sheet. Maximin swung in. It's headed clear. James now to Fofana, looking to do some more changes, but the highlight came on before I could do it. Matthias Tel, Fofana. Fofana all the way back to Magnan in that goal. Out to Gavardio. Gavardio has Cucurella outside him now, who's got a better burst of speed. Cucurella crosses that deep, looking for... not sure who that was. He's looking for Havertz, actually. Didn't find him. Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall scores his 5th goal of the season, and it's 2-0 after 73 minutes, and Dewsbury Hall rounding off his season well. Havertz couldn't get to it. It come out. Dewsbury Hall. Lovely footwork there, put it away. And with 73 minutes on the clock, making one more change, we are seeing Kai Havertz come off. Dewsbury Hall has moved up into that attacking playmaker role, and Davide Fratisi comes on for the final 15 minutes or so, and he will take up the Mazzala role in central midfield. And we have another highlight. That ball through Gavardio, cutting it off. Magnum with the goal kick. Gavardio swings that out, looking for Sterling. Sterling brings it down for Fernandes. Reece James. Sterling keeping that ball out there. Lovely play. Fofana. Gavardio comes forward. James has Sterling in front of him. Sterling tries to cross it in the box. Gets a second attempt at Dewsbury Hall. It's headed back out. James crosses it in deep. And Newcastle defending that very, very well. But Fratisi winning that ball. Cucurella. Rodrigo crosses it in. And Matthias Tel. Question of whether he's offside or not. We'll have to wait and see. It might have been Rodrigo that was offside. No, it's a goal. It is a goal. Matheus Tel with his 14th of the season. Cucurella over the top to Rodrigo. Rodrigo's onside. Matheus Tel puts it away. Highlight from kickoff. And we want to check the opposition thingies. Because... outside to Trippier. Trippier's just come on. Cross it into the box and Magnan gets down to save that. And with 80 minutes on the clock, make our final 2 changes. And we're taking off a Dewsbury Hall, who's put on a fine shift. He's got an 8 on the ratings today. Milankovic Savic comes on and replaces him in that attacking playmaker role. And we finally, Raheem Sterling, who's also put in a good shift today. He's replaced by Gabriel Barbosa. They are our final changes for today's game. Those changes not come into effect yet. Sterling still on the pitch. And that shot blocked. Fratisi wins it, but it's given away. Who gave that away? Rodrigo. Poor. Fratisi trying to win it back again, but... moving it around. That's gone out. Trippier with a throw in. And Magnan will be absolutely hopping mad if he concedes now. And defence, Barbosa wins it. Matheus Tel comes back. James to Barbosa. Barbosa comes forward, but Barbosa's not got the speed. Free kick on that far side. Reece James crosses it in. It's headed clear. Rodrigo tidies up. Fratisi, who's back in a defensive position, alongside Cucurella. Barbosa, Savic straight at Lafont. And 90 minutes is up. We have 4 minutes of added time. Fernandes. Barbosa to Rodrigo. Rodrigo, it's taken a deflection. It's gone out for a corner. First minute of injury time. Reece James swings it in. It's headed clear. We've not been successful at those corners today. And Newcastle break out. Need to be very careful here. They don't catch us. Defending. And Savic doing his defensive work in the final minute of our time added on. Savic. Cucurella. It's taken a deflection. Back out to Cucurella. Cucurella for Gavardio. And it's all over. We have won 3-0 and Magnan has got his clean sheet to give him 21 clean sheets for the season, which means that he will get that record off of Edison, which is good news. 14 shots, 9 on target, well over the 50%, 2.18 on the XG, 50% of the possession, which is splendid. Got some of that possession that we were down at the first half. They had 17 shots though, only 3 of which were on target. 1.37 on the old XG. Again, 50% of the possession. We finished the season on a high. The question is, have Liverpool, Manchester City, what's happened with them? Well, there we are. There's the headlines. That must have been Trippier's last game for Newcastle. I don't know where he's going. We'll check that out in just a moment. But Liverpool have beaten Brentford by 2-0. And Manchester City could only manage a draw against Fulham. As I said, they did appear to be blowing up. So, not the best of seasons. So, still that Liverpool-Arsenal game to come. And Liverpool will overtake Manchester City if they get a draw or a win from that final game of the season. And we will check that out before we finish the episode and see what happens there. Trippier. Kieran Trippier. Where is he going? Do we know? Doesn't say. There's no indication on here, but it does say bids farewell to Newcastle. We'll have to have a closer look at that and see if we can find out. Right, that is the end of the season. We'll come back in a moment with that final scoreline for you to see whether Liverpool have jumped over Manchester City. Took us a little while to get there, but we did in the end, and Liverpool beating Arsenal by 3-2. It was pretty much tied up in the first half. In fact, in the first half an hour, Konate, Robertson and Salah all getting goals in the first 26 minutes, or 28 minutes, is that 28, I think, making it 3-0, and Arsenal, it wasn't until Gerard Bowen, getting 2 goals in 5 minutes late in that second half, 81 minutes and 86 minutes, to make it look a little bit more respectable. But it was a 3-2 win, and Liverpool do leapfrog Manchester City. So the table finishes like this. Chelsea are champions on 97 points, some 13 points clear of Liverpool in second place on 84. Then Manchester City are third on 82. Then Manchester United 67. Arsenal finish on 65 in the final Champions League place. The Europa League place goes to Newcastle on 59, and the Europa Conference League goes to Brentford on 59 points. And as we said before, Leeds, Aston Villa and West Ham are the relegated sides. That is how it's all finished. We'll do a proper roundup in the end of season review. And the question is, not only will it be an end of season review, will it be an end of series review as well? If you don't want to lose the series, then you need to give me those thumbs up. You need to be hitting the old like button pretty madly. Well, that's it. Final game of the season and everything else. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, it's that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all future episodes, if there are any, of this series. Will certainly be the end of season review. Our other series, To Be a Legend, and new series, if and when we release them, Making Chelsea Stand Proud, has been released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. up until now. You need to check whether it's going to carry on being that, like button if you want it to carry on, and if you want to keep up to date to find out what's happening, whether this series is carrying on, whether we're going to go a new series or whatever's happening on this channel, you need to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. Thank you for watching. We'll be back for potentially the final episode of this series, which will be an end of season stroke end of series review. It's episode 100. It's out on Friday. Till then, goodbye.